So with the equations of the circle, the first thing we start out with is the, think about it. Use the distance formula to write the equation for the radius, which is the distance between x and y and h and k. So I'm giving you 2 points, an xy and an hk. Can somebody tell me how you would write the distance for that?
R equals h minus x over 2, then k minus y over 2. Or no, it was, yeah. Sorry, got that wrong.
You confused the midpoint there. Squared.
Yeah, squared x.
Plus the y.
Yeah.
Minus k squared. So r equals, we should put the square root over all of it.
Wait, I have a question.
Alright, so that would be the distance from center to one point on the edge. They just called it xy, we call the center hk. Now the standard equation of a circle when we get into it will be this. It basically is the distance formula, is it not? What happened to the square root in the distance formula up there?
We didn't square root it, so we leave the radius as squared.
What's that?
We didn't square root it, so we leave the radius as squared.
Yeah, it's almost like we basically squared both sides to get rid of the square root. Now this side's squared, yes, it's r squared. So the definition of a circle is all points equidistant from another one, right? So you put a dot down for your center, and then the circle equidistant. All the points on that circle are the same r value from the center. So we're gonna just practice writing some equations. It says write the equation with circle. So if I tell you what the center is, and I tell you what the radius is, you just plug them in. That's the x value of the center. So you know that goes with the x of the equation. So it's x minus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared is equal to 16. We're going to square the r value, so we're going to square it and we get 16. Now, what happens a lot of times, it's kind of like our factors that we've worked on already. When you have the minus 2 and minus 3 in the parentheses, the center is positive, right? It appears as a negative look in the parentheses, but the actual center is a positive 2, 3. So this is to the right 2, up 3. You got to make that transfer. Don't go too fast on the exam or the quiz. Make them work together. All right, what I would like you to do is see if you can do B and C on your own with somebody sitting near you, doing the same thing. Say x minus the value, y minus the value, and then simplify it. A lot of times when I do these problems, I'll write x minus negative 2, y minus the 4. If you want to get in the habit of writing this as the square, do you do that? But I do this so it's the same thing. Now many of you, when you go to write that, the x minus a negative 2, it's x plus 2. So what that means is we're shifting to the left 2. Plus y minus 4 quantity squared is equal to 6. That's how we will write the standard form. Now on the last one down here, with the 0, 0, I do like to write it that way, so that, you know, if somebody reads it or you're going back to look at something, it really tells you, oh yeah, my center's at 0, 0. But if you want to, you can just write x squared and y squared. So if one of the x or y values at center is 0, you do not have to write minus 0 each time. You can just write x squared, y squared. For number 2, you're going to do this on your own quickly with somebody sitting near you. Have the discussion about, if I give you the equation, you're going to find the radius and the center on your own. So do that quickly. So when you look at it, your eyes will see the -3, and if you're flying along the test, a lot of you will write down a -3 for the x value, but the standard form is to say x minus the x value, just like the distance formula, x minus something. So it's just the 3. And then there's nothing with the y squared, right? So that's just a 0.
Isn't that the center of the radius?
Oh, I'm writing in the wrong spot. That's fine. Don't worry. You know what I meant. 3, 0. The radius then is the square root of 81, which is 9. On this one, this is really x minus -1, and this is really y minus -4. So it's -1, -4 for your center, and then the radius is the square root of the number that's there, and so it's the square root of 2. If you feel the need to go to a decimal, do so, but the square root of 2 is kind of a simplified form.